I think Olympiacos, they play very physical defense. They're always bumping. They got guys who are a little undersized, but they play bigger than their size. They play physical, they play tough. It's a typical Greek team. When you think about Greek basketball, you think about physical, you think about tough, and they're the typical, Greek team, which is a very good team. Well, not any one particular matchup. It's just knowing the fact that they're going to play hard. Sometimes teams are talent, and then other teams, they play hard. One team is always talented than the other team. And with this team, they're talented and they're physical. So, it's one of those games where you just have to play the best you can and prepare the best. We'll prepare well, of course. With Xavi Pascual, we'll prepare great. Defense always, as we know in the finals, in the Final Four, defense always wins championship, as we proved 2 years ago. And last year, Panathinaikos proved the same thing, that defense wins championships. And you always have a high-scoring team against a great defensive team, always in the finals. So it always comes down to defense, because on any given night, any guy can get hot, whether it's a good, a very talented team or just a mediocre team. Anyone can get hot, but defense, it takes work, and it takes physically, and mentally, it takes everything out of you, sacrificing everything to win the game. The keys of defense is understanding what we're doing. Every game we have a different game plan. Scouting is a big thing for us. We watch hours of video every week, which is, at this time of year, it's not typical. Most teams only watch a few minutes of video and go on the court and do most of the work. We mentally prepare for what we're going to do physically, and that helps us a lot. They have a lot of guys who have a lot of energy. The American player Kyle Hines, he's a guy who plays with a lot of energy. He's a guy who can guard the 4 and he can guard the 5. Plus Olympiacos switch. They switch a lot to guard the guard. So you have guys like that who can really step up and make the big difference. For me, he was a difference against Siena for that series. No, every Final Four is different because we have a different team than we had last year. Last year we didn't make it to Final Four, and we have a different team. And the year that we won the Final Four, we have a totally different team. So every year you have to prepare different. Every year you have to, just be prepared to battle, to fight. Because in Final Four, it doesn't matter how much offense, talent you have. It matters what you do on defense, knowing the game plan, and everybody being on the same page. It's just everyone has to be on the same page. If you got one player off, you could lose a game, and it's only 40 minutes. So if you have one bad game where you didn't focus the correct way, you can lose the game. It's totally different because if you play bad, you go home. Or you play the third place game, which no one wants to play. So it's totally different, and you just want to do everything possible. Whatever the coach, whatever game plan he draws up, you want to try to, execute it to perfection.